Okay, last option that I wanted to show you, if you don't have a printer to trace it, and if you can't get the light table working on your Chromebook, another option is using Kleki because we are pros. So, and we're just using layers. So I totally stole Kent's image. So I'm going to open up the image that you've posterized. Okay, and you want it as a layer, right? Because we want to work in layers. You can resize it, whatever you got to do. Okay, so this will take a little bit of time, and you just we're doing the best we can. It's going to turn out awesome. Okay, so if I look at my layers, I have David Bowie on the top layer. I'm going to make a new layer because I want to draw on top of it, because if I draw on this layer, if I make any mistakes and erase it, it's going to erase the photo too. So I'm going to draw on top of him on a new layer, and then I'm going to erase this picture later. So I'm going to put the plus sign for a new layer. I'm going to make sure that I'm working on that layer. I'm going to use the paintbrush tool. I'm going to draw it in black, and I'm just going to make it pretty small. And I'm going to zoom in. I'll do it fast, but you take your time. So what you're doing then is just right on here, and you can smooth things out. You do the best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. I promise in the end it's going to turn out kind of cool. And if it is quirky, that's totally fine. So you're just going to go around and you're just going to outline all those shapes, right? You don't have to do absolutely everything that you've posterized, but so same thing that you would do with a pencil, but instead you're doing it on here. Some of you may have the Chromebooks that your pencil can work as a stylus, or if you have a stylus. Now, of course, if you are already working digitally and you have your own programs, your preferences, and you could totally do this. It's totally up to you. Okay, so you're just going to take your time. Now, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you're going to outline everything. So as you see, if I go into layers, so this is my David Bowie, I'm just going to make it totally see-through. See, it's not so bad. I mean, it's not perfect, but that's okay. This is going to turn out really neat, right? So again, make sure you're drawing on that top layer, because if you make a mistake, you can erase it, you can Control Z, whatever, right? You're going to outline everything. I'm doing it fast here. Yours is going to be better. All right, now the only challenge is once that you've outlined everything, then you want to apply the neurographic elements to it, which is the rounding out the edges. That is what I find kind of tricky on here. So you know what, you're just going to absolutely do your best, okay? Because if you, to round out your corners, it's not so bad if you zoom in. It's going to take a little bit of time. So please try your best. I promise in the end, it's going to turn out great. Okay? Now, of course, when you're done, so say that he's all done, then I can actually, so say he was all traced, I can actually delete David Bowie now, right? And then I have my image, and then I can go through, right, and I can use my paint bucket tool. I can do whatever I need to do now, or your paintbrush tool if you wanted to do that. If I wanted to use the layer underneath, if I wanted to exactly same thing that we did with our practice one, right? Whatever you want to do to finish it, okay? So again, if you, as if this is a work in progress, you need to file, save as layers, right? And then reopen those layers if it's a work in progress. But I think this works just fine. We will figure this out. It's going to look great, okay? I mean, the last option is you can totally just sketch it out freehand, and that's totally fine if you feel comfortable doing that. Okay, it's going to turn out good. Even if it's a bit quirky, hey, that's cool. It's a new style. Okay? All right, have fun.